All right, one day after the storm, and it was a very rough day for the city of Boston yesterday. On the phone right now, we've got Mayor Marty Walsh with us. Thanks so much for joining us, Mayor.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me this morning.
So I guess the first question we want to ask you about is the flooding all along the Seaport. What's the situation now, from your understanding, and how is the flooding now?
Yesterday afternoon when the high tide came in, it really it caught a lot of neighborhoods by surprise. The North End, South Boston waterfront, Charlestown, Eastie, Dorchester. And, it did some damage, but we were able to handle it where we didn't have to evacuate anyone. And certainly we're going to go back and assess any damage that's there today. But it was something that was a problem and shows it's things that we have to look out for in the future now in our city as far as tide coming in. There was some real wild pictures on TV last night. You're showing them today. What happened in Southie. I think there was a picture of a dumpster flowing down the street. In North End, coming right over the water coming right over the seawall and going into some properties there. So that's something we have to take a look at today and talk about in the next couple of weeks, how we assess that and how we handle a storm like that in case something like that would happen again.
So now what are they going to do with obviously the freeze that's going to happen and all that water? What's the city doing to...
a lot of it was moved yesterday, and we had the plows down there, and last night we had Public Works down there with backhoes and front end loaders and doing all the work we have to do, and not just there but all over the city. And last night they removed about 100 trailers of snow off the street, snow and ice off the street, and today is really a day just to continue to move as much snow as possible off the street so we can continue to move forward. I mean, a lot of the streets are in pretty good shape. Public Works did an incredible job yesterday. That doesn't mean there's not going to be some concerns today, but we're going to be out there today, this morning, assessing every street and making sure we continue to remove and do the work we have to do. One of the reasons we called school off today was to keep the buses off the street so we can actually continue to get to those areas we need to get to.
Obviously a huge operation to clear the streets overnight. Now that people are going to be waking up this morning and starting their digging out process, any advice, warnings, whatnot to people? Because you don't want that snow.
The weather that you just put on the TV is going to be extremely cold. It's going to be a tough day. Being out there shoveling, just please don't shovel into the street. Do the best. Take your time. Help neighbors that might need help, but take your time when you're shoveling out this morning. Just to make sure that, if you put it back on the street, then we have to get back out there with plows, and it becomes problematic for the city and for other residents on the street.
All right, Mayor Marty Walsh joining us live on the phone, updating us on the situation in Boston. A really difficult day for crews yesterday, but live pictures right now, Mayor, and the streets looking pretty good.
Yeah, they did a really good job. It's tough. It was, I think we ended up getting about 13.5 inches of snow in Boston. In some parts of our city, we got 16 inches of snow. There was a lot of snow out there yesterday. I was out last night shoveling myself, for about 3 hours. And every time you just look around, and then with the wind and the drifts, it just kept coming and coming. It was a difficult storm. And then today, compounded with the freezing cold weather today, usually you don't have that, bone-chilling weather the next day. Usually you have a 35-degree day. So it's going to cause problems, and we still have some work to do. I'm looking at, I think, Broadway and Southie right now. We have some work to do there on the right-hand side and widening that street and do some more work out there. So we will be out there today making sure we get to the curbs in these different areas where we can.
All right, Mayor, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.